Greetings and welcome to this week's edition of One Big Thing. Kurt Goulding here, and today's one big thing is, well, actually two things: supply and demand. So first, let's just talk about the supply side. USDA came out last week with their estimates, and they had a small nominal increase in acreage, not an amount as was expected, and nominally better yields. So we're basically looking at roughly 15 billion bushels of corn production. And now there is some early harvest taking place in parts of the Corn Belt, and yields are disappointing. But that's not a surprise, since it's the stressed fields that are the first ones ready to harvest. So yields are always disappointing. So we need to keep an eye on this, but it's just too early to draw a definite conclusion. Now, there are also a couple of other things that we need to consider, and as always, China is there at the top of the list. Now, we expect them to be increasing their production somewhere around 5 million metric tons this year, but who knows? Food production is national security. So they don't really put out solid data, so nobody really knows anything there. Now, we do know that their yield trend is up. However, their lack of embracing GMO corn keeps them from becoming the major corn exporter in the world. Also, we have Brazil and Argentina increasing their acreages, and they're in the midst of planning right now. Oh, yeah. And La Nina is out there being the potential wild card for potential problems in southern Brazil and Argentina. Now, on the demand side, this is driven by a couple of things. And of course, China is everything. Will they import as much corn as they did last crop year? Their hog numbers are not expanding, and if they're increasing their production, one could possibly draw the conclusion that they won't take as much as last year. And keep in mind, they rolled somewhere around 5 million tons from old crop into the new crop. And ethanol production is not going to recover to pre-pandemic levels. Gasoline prices for this time of the year are at all-time high prices in many states. And natural gas is spiking in price due to European demand as, their wind energy is failing to produce adequate amount. The wind's not blowing. Oh no, imagine that. And there have been some utility companies have gone broke. So crude is rising as they're having to go to carbon-based fuels to run their power plants. So you look at that, fears of $100 crude oil, and man, it gets us things kind of spooky. So, wild times ahead of us. And, I will say this. I do think corn has bottomed. It got down at or near $5 last week, and that's good for now. So we should trade between $5 and $5.60 until something changes. So, till next time, happy trading.